Alright, fam, you know who it is. Boy Derek Diablo, Grandmaster Diablo D, Master Derek, Master D, Diablo TV. Like, subscribe, do things you're supposed to do. It's 2026, so moving forward with the new year. I already wish all you happy new year, and I'm settled here in Central Florida or downtown Orlando, and it's time now to begin telling my history going back prior to my endeavors in the UK football hooliganism, which began, I think you could trace it to the end of 2017. 2018, I announced Miami Casuals, first casuals group in America. So I thought, first Inter Miami supporters group, unofficial. Then I ended up in UK. I've lived in UK about 2 years, beginning in 2019 overall. In England and Wales. I've been to Scotland as well. Haven't lived there. So then most people are focused on those periods. Let's say with me going to UK and me getting involved with UK, and that's what helped me get the fame and the notoriety, infamy, Google AI profiles. Uh, it helped me get the level of fame I needed in order to be able to tell my story from America. You know what I mean? Because like I told everybody, with football hooliganism, I see it as a retirement program for skinheads and gang members from America. Because it's a weekend thing, and it's not the same thing as American gangs, but I bring that American gang mentality to it. The American skinhead mentality, which, skinhead scene ain't the same as American skinhead scene. Let's say it's more violent in America, more serious. It overlaps with street gangs and motorcycle clubs and everything like that. So it's a different kettle of fish, as it were. But this is just an introduction, because now I'm gonna start telling my stories. Everybody been seeing me play around with the likes of that no good Carson Gardner, who I'm gonna sort out in the boxing ring, and his two other dummy buddies if he brings them along with him. But there's boxing. I'm English boxing champion. Have my belt here. Gonna be getting my belt brought here. Settling in and getting more decorations up in here. But in the meantime, between time, my history goes back of street fighting to 1979. When I was 5 years old, got my first arranged fight. About to tell that one. Started doing martial arts 8 years old, 1982. And then I got in street fights up until just this last year, 2025, in Wales. So, talking about from 1979, street fighting, getting in street fights. 1979 to 2025. Then you talk about martial arts, combat sports. I went to my first taekwondo tournament, 1982. I'm 8 years old, and I won the TFC Master Super Welterweight boxing title last year, 2025. So, whether everybody wants to believe it or not, people want to hate on me. I'm one of the greatest fighters in the history of the world. I'm about to be 52 in February. So, how many people are considered great fighters of all time? Bruce Lee himself, rest in peace. How long was their actual career in it? You talk about some of the great UFC fighters and everything like that. How many of them are fighting over 50 years old? I'm still getting better. I'm the best fighter in the world, as far as I'm concerned, as far as masters go. Or otherwise, let's figure it out. Give me any. I just fought at 154 last year in America, 69 kilos, super welterweight. So, and right now I'm walking around at 160 because I cut that weight. I was 174 when I got to UK for my fight to cut 20 pounds. Since then, I was waiting for more boxing matches, but now I'm going to move up in weight because this next opponent is heavier in weight, and I can get heavier in weight too. I can get heavyweight if I want. But right now, I can get to MMA featherweight 145. I can get to boxing welterweight 147, Floyd Mayweather division. Thing about it is, there's no opponents for me. At least not in America and England. Maybe we go some other places, let alone some third world countries where people the money alone would be worth it to get some guys, and I'm sure they got guys. You get some of these other exotic countries, but let's just focus on America and England. UFC or anybody or any American boxers, anybody who's ever been a famous American boxer, WBO, WBC, UFC, anybody over 50, ex-champion, anybody over 50 at that weight class. 145, 155, 147. I'm the best in the world. I'll wreck any who's UFC lightweight champions over 50. Do your homework. I'll wreck any of them. I'll wreck any boxing world champion over 50 in my division right now. They're all washed up by 40. That's how I feel about it. The fact of the matter is, hey, it is all by the grace of God in Jesus' name. Nobody's invincible. I fear God. It says in Proverbs 1, fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. I fear God only. Like Red Man said, they say you got a bodyguard, all these people, rappers getting killed and everything. He said, no, you got a gun, He said, God is my bodyguard. That's how I feel. God enables me to do what I do. So I'm not trying to be boastful. I'm just being honest. Fact of the matter is, I ain't lost a competitive combat sports match since 1998. That was in the semifinals. I went 93-10 in the knockdown Japanese Kyokushinkai rules and other mixed rules. That was considered Oriental rules MMA. World Shidokan Championships. I got in the semifinals. Lost to Muhammad. That was at 175 pounds. Lost to Muhammad Kieta in the semifinals. So I was basically, you could say, ranked 4th in the world or America. He went on, won the American. Then he won the world in Japan. Then he fought Kung Lee in a Sanda match and to a draw. So I'm not embarrassed to have lost to him. And that was fighting for a national title. So that's the last competitive sports match I lost in 1998. And the last street fight I lost was in the year 2000 in prison against a guy who was the boxing coach of the blacks in FSP, Florida State Prison. I wasn't in Florida State Prison. That's when they used to have boxing program. It'd be like the Latinos versus the blacks, basically. And a bigger lad, heavyweight, and me and him got into a fight over the phone. And he got the better of me. I was able to walk away from it on my own accord. So, yeah. Undefeated in combat sports since 1998. Undefeated in street fighting since year 2000. And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm just saying let's just put it all on the table where it stands. I don't have any opponents in UK. I thought when I won the belt in April 5th last year, how everybody else, you get more money. Now people want to come take the belt. Ain't nobody want to fight me after that. And then they heard that the rumor got around in England that I went toe-to-toe Josh King, heavyweight, dangerous fighter. Look out for him. He's fighting against Damon Ware. I like Damon Ware as well. Respect to them. I'll be talking about that. That's the biggest fight to me upcoming in Plymouth. And that's this year. Josh King, the Stonehouse Felon, versus Damon Ware. I don't think I'll be able to be there, but I'll be there in spirit. Maybe I'll comment. Maybe I'll do a commentary video. Now I'm calm here. You see, I ain't out in the street screaming and yelling and, you know what I mean, doing my videos the way I do them, talking all this shit in the street. You feel me? There's other people around and everything like that, so there's different tension. A bit more relaxed now, and I'm more relaxed in life. I've accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish. Now I'll do more of the same in a measured way and thinking about my future. I ain't never thought about my future. I didn't expect to live like when I was younger, so bomb, new series. Now I'm going to talk about my history. Now you're going to see my history. I had to do what I had to do to get enough attention, but now I got enough attention. You put Google Derek Diablo, bam, you got all hooligan stuff. But then if you put Derek Diablo, National Bolshevist from my political books, then they got a whole other profile, American political figure. So now I got all that. I'm up in there. I'm up in the algorithm, you dig? To where I want to be. I ain't trying to be like some of these other viral video stars. Here they are. Where are they next? I'm slowly gaining a reputation. It's just my reputation and my notoriety got to the point where people, even the enemies, even my enemies, fallen enemies, and other people I fought against in gangs in America respect me. So they're not going to talk about me, but they ain't going to help me get my name out there. And then it was just like a street legend. Oh, you know, Diablo, you know, South Florida skinheads, Whoa, fought against the Nazis. So I got the martial arts, I got the street fighting, the gang, I got all that history. Then you got all the hooligan stuff. So I'm gonna leave it there right now. I'm gonna start telling some of my tale. Here's an introduction to Diablo's War Stories.